as to why we are the way we are. And that we want to put it to them that the Bible gives as good an explanation as any that I've heard in a long time. And we can start just from there. Well, don't you think that it's fairly reasonable to suggest that the reason we are the way we are on the outside is because of a problem that we have on the inside? So we live in manifold confusion. Ask your friends in the office when they give you this hogwash about we just need education. Say to them, listen, there's 150 people in this building today. Or if you're in a big building, you're in an organization, there may be thousands of people in it. There's multiple floors. And you say to them when you're having coffee with them, do you really believe this morning that the adulterer and the thief and the wife beater and the cheat and the gossip and the filthy minded in our complex are just in need of a seminar? Is that what you're honestly telling me? That all we need to do is get in and get educated? Don't be so jolly silly. No, you shouldn't say that. That gets them defensive. Say, really? You see, that kind of approach denies the existence of conscience. And people want to deny the existence of their conscience. That's why they want a fancy name for adultery. So when they drive in their car, they don't want to hear it sounding in their conscience. Adulterer, 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 adulterer. They want to have it People magazine style. They want it to be education, not morality. Or says somebody, I don't like the diagnosis. It sounds cruel. It's unkind. Listen, it's the key to a lifelong cure. That's the last thing I want to say. I say to the person to whom I was speaking, you know, Jesus came to fulfill the Father's purpose. He came to reveal the Father. He came to die. And He came in order that we, in recognizing His death, may find life. The interesting thing is that in Mark 8:31, we read, for this very reason I came to this hour. Actually, that is John chapter 12. Jesus, in looking at the cross, He says, for this very reason I came to this hour. John Stott says the hour for which Jesus had come into the world was the hour in which He left it. So we need to say to people, until we see this little cradle in terms of this cross, we'll never understand it. Until we realize that Jesus on the cross was bearing sin, was taking our place, was suffering the punishment that was due us because we are cheats and thieves, and because we have dirty minds, and because we go our own way, that Jesus on the cross was doing all of that. We never understood the Christmas story. Oh, says somebody, that's good. Fine, thanks. Got it. Got it. Wrote them all down. Got them all fine. Beautiful. I know 4 reasons why He didn't come, and I know 5 reasons why He did. Thanks for telling me that. I actually believe that what you said is true, and I actually believe that it is very important. So, thank you very much, and we must have coffee again sometime. The person walks out of the place and says, guess what? I'm a believer. I'm a believer. The guy hit me with 9 things. 4 reasons why he didn't come, 5 reasons why he did come. I bought every one of them. I believe every one of them. I'm a believer. Well, you're a believer in one sense. You've given intellectual assent to certain truths. You're a believer like the devil's a believer. Because he is absolutely orthodox in his view of why Jesus came. He knows the 4 reasons why He didn't. He knows the 5 reasons why He did. And he's not in any doubt about any one of them. So is it sufficient to believe just the way the demons believe? Simply to intellectually acknowledge it? Absolutely not. So is there another step? The vital step. Alexander Fleming, a Scotsman, discovered penicillin. It was first used in Radcliffe Infirmary in Oxford in about the early 20s or so, maybe 27, can't remember. It radically changed for all time the issue of blood poisoning. Imagine I'm in my bed and I have blood poisoning. Somebody comes and places a bottle of penicillin right here at my bedside table within arm's length of me and says, listen, that's penicillin. And I say, I believe it. And the person says, furthermore, the penicillin is the cure for blood poisoning which you know you've got. And I say, I believe it. But I'm going to die of blood poisoning despite all of my belief, unless I personally take that which is held out to me as the cure for my predicament. You see, I don't think Sunday by Sunday I am laboring to convince a group of radical atheists that are coming within the walls of Parkside. I don't think that I am addressing a group of people who are, quotes, unbelievers when it comes to assent to certain basic elements of the faith. But I do believe that regularly I am addressing a group of people who will die in their sins at arm's length to the cure, because you have never, ever personally come to accept Jesus Christ and His offer of salvation. Some years ago in Edinburgh, when I was there as an assistant minister, a 69-year-old woman from the Grassmarket in Edinburgh, which is a kind of seedy area where people hang out. The lady who essentially lived there as a bag lady was brought before the magistrate's court, and she was charged, as she'd been charged many times before, as being drunk and incapable. The magistrate looked at her and he said, in order that justice must be done, I have to fine you, the statutory fine. The lady, of course, was penniless, and offering this information, which was no surprise to the magistrate, she then became the recipient of the news that in the absence of the finance, she must spend the time in the cells and she would be imprisoned. And so she was taken by the bailiff, she was taken out and down into the cells, and it was Christmas. This is true, this is not a fabrication for effect. Taken down into the cells. Within an hour, she was released. The magistrate, when he conducted the business of the day and concluded, went down into the cells, having paid the woman's fine, and made possible her release. In a far more wonderful way, Christ in His coming and in His death has paid our fine and made possible our release. Dear ones, why would you ever want to stay in bondage with such an offer of liberation?
Why did Jesus come? The obvious answer, to save sinners. You're listening to Alistair Begg and Truth for Life. If you'd like to learn more about trusting Jesus, contact us right now. Request a free booklet called The Story. It's our gift to you. Call 888-588-7884. Today's message marks the conclusion of a 3-part Truth for Life series titled, Who is Jesus? You can download your copy of these messages for free online at truthforlife.org. Well, Alistair, sometimes the work of ministry can be a lonely road, but it's really not designed to be that way. In fact, God wired us to work and to live and to minister in a community of believers, didn't He?
Yeah, I think so, Bob. I have this thing now about everyone has a wheelbarrow, and they push around the experiences of their life. Some people have a really loaded wheelbarrow, and some people don't seem to have very much in it at all. And some are desperately in need of someone to come along and share the weight or the burden with them. And while we come to Christ individually, it's never God's intention for us to live in isolation from one another. And some people who listen to the program actually do live in remote areas, and God has provided by means of the radio an opportunity for them to be connected. It's been a mechanism for them to go and get connected to a local church where they're fed and they're challenged and they're encouraged. And as we're wrapping up another year of ministry together, as we look towards 2011, it's our hope, of course, that Truth for Life is going to be there every day to provide the help and the direction necessary so that people can press on. I want to encourage our listeners to make sure that they find a place in a local church where the Word of God is honored and where they can find biblical direction and guidance, and that Truth for Life will not be so much a fundamental part of that as it will be a supplemental part of it, that we come alongside the hard work of the local pastor. And my commitment is to local pastors because I'm one myself. So let me encourage you in this vein to join with us. We need your help. I unashamedly ask you to come and stand with us now in the remaining weeks of the year by giving a special year-end donation to Truth for Life. When we find ourselves identifying with others who love the Bible, then we receive the encouragement necessary to press on towards the goal to win the prize for which God has called us. So just imagine yourself as part of a big company moving in the direction of God's purposes, and make your contribution today to help us achieve these objectives. Thank you very much.
There are 3 ways for you to get in touch with us. The year-end deadline is upon us. It's this coming Friday, so give us a call at 888-588-7884, or you can send a check by addressing your envelope to Truth for Life, P.O. Box 39, 8000, Cleveland, Ohio, 44139. Our website is secure for your donation, and it's accessible at any time. Go online to truthforlife.org. When you give a donation today, we want to invite you to request our featured book, 10 Questions to Diagnose Your Spiritual Health. Kick off 2011 by taking stock of your relationship with God. This book provides an excellent means to guide you through the process, either alone or as a group study. Request the book when you give a donation to support Truth for Life. Again, call 888-588-7884 or go to truthforlife.org. Tuesday, we'll begin a study of the Psalms with Alistair Begg, so meet us here tomorrow for Truth for Life, where the learning is for living.